I'm Katie and welcome to Sugo Gaming Weekly News, where we bring you all of the Korean gaming news straight from South Korea. We've got updates and launches from Yostar and various iterations of Bless, but before we get into that, let's take a look at industry news from the Korean scene last week. Let's kick off the news this week with some good news from NeoWiz and Southpaw Games, as their 2D roguelite, Skul, the Hero Slayer, has finally graduated from early access to full release on Steam. Skul has technically been around since February 2020, where it debuted in early access. While Southpaw had intended to release the game last year, they chose to postpone it in order to ensure the game reached their expectations, a move that some Western developers wouldn't hurt to take note of. Despite being in early access, Skul debuted to critical acclaim from both players and the industry, sweeping a bunch of awards and maintaining a very positive rating on Steam. And now it seems Southpaw was finally satisfied, as they officially launched the game on the 21st, with the final 2 chapters, several new cutscenes, and a ton of new Skul upgrades. Skul the Hero Slayer is available now to play in its entirety at last on Steam. Korean powerhouse NCSoft has eyes set on global expansion for 2021, and they're not just hoping their flagship MMORPGs will get the job done. Instead, they're trying their hand in a new field: Kpop. NC's newly launched Kpop entertainment platform, Universe, allows Kpop fans from across the world to interact with each other and their favorite idols using AI-based features, like motion capture and character scanning. It started taking pre-orders back in November 2020 and has already reportedly exceeded 3 million pre-subscribers as of last week. And that platform will give all of those users the power to pick Asia's next big girl group, as Universe will be the voting system used in Mnet's new upcoming survival talent show Girls Planet 999. It was only a matter of time before Valorant fever reached Korea, and it looks like it is primed to take on the Korean esports scene for 2021, as Riot has announced they will be holding their first Korean edition of the Valorant Challengers series. Riot is kicking off the Valorant Champions Tour with stages across the world, including the tournament's very first Korean stage. The smart money is on Vision Strikers to take it all, as they have long dominated the Korean Valorant scene and maintained a steady tournament win streak in the run-up. But hey, you can't count anyone out. If there's one thing Korean esports loves across the board, it's an underdog. The Korean stage of Valorant Challengers will begin on January 30th. Due to the current climate, everything is scheduled to take place online, but there's a chance it will move offline before its conclusion in March if the situation allows it. In updates and release news this week, Yostar has announced they will be releasing mobile defense RPG Myeongil Arc on the One Store and Galaxy Store. There's a spring update on its way to Bless Unleashed, with new weapon tires, fishing tournaments, and story-based quests on the cards. And Joycity has announced its global pre-registration phase for the upcoming mobile MMORPG iteration of Bless Online. You can pre-register now on the Apple Store and Google Play.
Hey, I'm Naomi and welcome to Nerf This, your weekly one-stop roundup of the Tier 2 Korean Overwatch scene. Now, 7 days never seems that long in the Korean Overwatch scene, as last week saw teams refilling their dwindling rosters en masse. And unfortunately, some good news souring just as fast. We started off last week with the promise that we'd keep you updated on whoever O2 picked up after Tara's departure, and we'll start this week with the answer, as O2 has announced a slew of new signings. Former London Spitfire players Aldo and Sanguinar were the first announced, followed by support player Vin Daim coming in on loan from Genji Academy, and tank players Max and Yahoo, the latter formerly of Billy Gaming. Despite already repopulating their white roster, T1 isn't quite done with the new hires yet. The team posted a notice for open tryouts, maybe looking to find some standbys for the inevitable mid-season Owl poaches. As always, we'll keep you updated. Talon has re-entered the ring with a flurry of announcements and a completely rebuilt roster, with a few familiar faces for the fans of the dearly departed Element Mystic. Talon will go into 2021 with a support line of Vigilante and Chorong, a tank line of Kellen and Attack, and Develop and Hisang on DPS. Former Element Mystic coach Swing By will be joined by Artist as the org says goodbye to their previous coach, Son. Team BM started off the week with an announcement that they will be parting ways with longtime DPS line Haven and Sungchan after mutually agreeing to terminate their contracts. The org didn't waste time announcing the replacements, however, with former Spitfire and Dynasty players Babel and Illicit repping the Black and Gold Eagle in Contenders this year. Interestingly, this marks Babel's return to the org, as he played his first competitive games with its first iteration, BM Hawk. And no sooner was Ryu Jae-hong announced as a content creator for Gen G did it hit the proverbial fan, with his behaviour on stream causing allegations of misogyny and backlash strong enough to prompt him to apologise and reflect. Gen G also spoke on the incident, stating that whilst they still do support him, they will be suspending all of his team-related activities indefinitely until further notice.
That's it for today. Let us know if you've played Skul the Hero Slayer or if you're looking forward to watching the Korean Valorant Challengers series. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. See you next week. Bye bye!